You are Locked On Marlins Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I was at all of them. 97, 03, every single one of them. Every single one of them. You are watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. So pumped to have you with me here today. And the Marlins with a big win over the Chicago Cubs in a couple of games in the series. Not so good for Miami. And they're able to pick up that win today. And yeah, man, day after they reached 500 for the first time, the Cubs dropped a game below Oller with a nice job. All or nothing. A great start for Adam Oller. 1 run, 4 hits over 5 2/3 innings, like I just said. He retired 11 straight. Cody Bellinger with a 1-out walk in the 6th inning. Jonah Bride had a couple of hits. Connor Norby, homer, double, and a single. Missed the cycle by 1 game. 6 extra base hits in his first 6 games with the Marlins. Came over from Baltimore in the Trevor Rogers deal on July 30th. And he has been lights out for Miami. Extra base hits all over the place. Stowers as well came from Baltimore too. So you're starting to see some of these guys who have been acquired and brought over and brought in these trades. And again, we talked about how many prospects the Padres gave up for Tanner Scott. And so the Marlins got a haul back. And by all accounts, universal, they did really, really well with what they got back. And that's what you kind of were, seeing with them and expecting to see with them. And that's what we got. So I think we got everything taken care of here with the technical stuff. I think we're going to be all right moving forward with your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Very happy to have you with me here today. The Marlins 7-2 over the Cubs. Big win for Miami to steal a game in this series, right, so to speak. And obviously the Cubs won the first 2, 6-3 and 14-2. The 14-2 game was a disaster. The regular season series between these games right now, it's 4-3. Regular season series, the Cubs win 4-3. But Norby homers, Sanchez homers, RBI doubles across the board. Sanchez RBI ground out, Norby scores. He was in the middle of everything tonight. Connor Norby. You are watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. After every Marlins game, we're here all season long. And it's been a tough go of it for your Miami Marlins. But the extra base hit parade, the 2 home runs, the 4 doubles, they just hit from top to bottom in the order today. Almost every player doing something offensively for Miami in this game. And, the only Marlins starter who did not have a hit or drive in a run was Fortes, the catcher, in the number 9 hole. Everybody else had at least 1 hit. And very few guys, Berger, Pache, who was a pinch runner. So Berger was 1 for 4 with a run scored, no RBIs. And Fortes 0 for 3 with nothing. And then Brujan 1 for 4 with no RBIs or runs scored. Everybody else had an RBI. Norby had an RBI. He was one hit shy of the cycle, right? Sanchez had 2 RBIs. Berger didn't have an RBI. But Bride, Lopez, Stowers, Hill all drove in runs. Brujan and Fortes didn't. So a good day across the board for Miami offensively. Oller pitched well. Pitched really well. It's what they needed to get a win today. You're watching Locked On Marlins postcast. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Still to come, the XBH parade. Extra base hits all over the place. Connor crushing. Oller nothing. Battle of the basement with the Rockies coming up. You're watching Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And I want to talk to my skilled trades men and women out there about Supply House. That's right. You get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your front door with fast shipping from coast to coast with supplyhouse.com. Need help with an order? Get expert support, industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business. Talk to a real person every time. Plus, and this is a big thing, pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining Supply House. And this is really important right here. Very important, right? Get your free master trade program. And that's a big thing with Supply House. Every trade master gets a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. So what are you going to do about that? You're going to join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And while I have your attention, I want to thank you for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen, first watch every day. And for your second listen and watch, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast. That's right, host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully, here daily, providing you with national expertise and the trademark humor that he loves to use to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Absolutely, no doubt. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, continuing on with your Locked On Marlins postcast. And what a day it was for Miami. I mentioned in the show a couple of times the extra base hit parade. Let's take a peek at that. You had Berger with a double, Lopez with a double, Stowers with a double, Lopez and Stowers driving in runs with the doubles. Jonah Bride, same thing. Sanchez with a homer. And Connor Norby with a homer. Norby had a double as well, just a triple shy of the cycle. Oller, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, and 5 2/3. Cronin, a scoreless inning, 2/3 of an inning. 1 2/3 scoreless, just 1 hit with 3 strikeouts for Tinoco, back on track after 1 outing. And Fauché, 1 hit, 1 earned run. It was a ground rule double from Happ. So there you have it, 7-2 the final. The Cubs win the season series 4-3. This series 2-1. It was wide open coming in. But a nice job by Miami. A little bit better, 3 for 8, runners in scoring position, only 4 left on base. Good to see Christian Bethancourt playing, by the way. Did a good job driving in that run. The catcher and number 9 hitter went 1 for 2 with the RBI, with the ribby. Colorado next, man. Stink Bowl coming up. Absolute stink bowl. Let's see if there's any news today on the injuries. Norby, pretty historic, though. 6 extra base hits in his first 6 games. Misses the cycle by a triple. Leadoff home run. Forget about Suzuki's 2 home run game yesterday. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Are you guys hearing me, seeing me okay? I think we're all right. I think we got this. Locked On Marlins postcast, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. And, man, I'll tell you what. Just got my new Locked On shirt. Got my swag going full speed. Just really cool right now. And, of course, we have the Dolphins coming up and the Hurricanes coming up as well. Football season going to be great. Myself and Alex with the Dolphins and the Canes, respectively, going to be great this season. And the Marlins, obviously you're going to go and you're going to be in Colorado now. And that is just, oh, man. I mean, so much on the line, though, right? So much on the line right now. Let's see. Where are we at here? Miami Marlins. Here we go. And the laugh that keeps on crying. All right, here we go. You ready? All right, Rockies, 4-gamer starting tomorrow. Okay? Monday through Thursday in Colorado. All right? Then Friday through Sunday at San Francisco. Off next Monday before at home against Washington. And then the 4 games against Philly. So 2 against the Nats, 4 against the Phils. Back out on the road for Pittsburgh and Washington. I believe that is that's the second to last that's the last National League road trip of the year. Dodgers and Braves come to town, and then Minnesota and Toronto to finish it up. So the Marlins could really impact the playoff races with Philadelphia and the Dodgers and the Braves, maybe Toronto and Minnesota. Well, Minnesota for sure. And then Colorado right now. I mean, this team is playing for last place is what's happening here. The Rockies and the Marlins. The Rockies right now, 48-83. The Marlins, 47-83. A half game worse than the Rockies for the worst record in Major League Baseball. And what are the Rockies doing today? Let's see. What are we doing here? Where are the Rockies? In the Rockies, under the evergreens. The Yankees beat them 10-3 today. They had 3 home runs in the 7th inning, by the way. Aaron Judge hit numbers 50 and 51. Today he's on pace to break his own record. Unbelievable season for him. And it's great that the Orioles are pushing the Yankees. The Dodgers being pushed by the Diamondbacks and the Padres. The Phillies kind of pushed by the Braves. Nice to see those great teams keep being pushed all year long so that they can't get complacent with a big lead. And that kind of ruins things for a lot of teams in baseball. Does it all the time. It really does. It really does. The White Sox, by the way, lost their 100th game today. Second fastest team ever to lose 100 games, as bad as it's been for the Marlins. They're 47 and 83. The White Sox 31 and 100. So the stink series against the Rockies is coming up. We'll preview that. We'll talk about the rest of the year on the way out as well. Yeah, the basement battle is coming your way. You're watching Locked On Marlins Postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. And we will be right back in just a minute. You've heard me talk a lot about FanDuel. You know how much I love FanDuel. You know why I love FanDuel. For many, many reasons, not the least of which is FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Well, we have something completely different for you now from FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. You heard me right. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to download America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. FanDuel is your sportsbook every day. Thanks again for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen, your first watch every day. Now, go and check out the Locked On MLB podcast with Sully. Prepare for the Fall Classic. Sully's got it covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description, so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team, your city, your league, your sport, your life. Every day we are locked in and locked on for you. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Really pumped to be here with Locked On. 82 million people and counting and growing. First quarter was 82 million people. Shows for every team, almost every city, in almost every league, and growing and building. And look out for Locked On Location. We are coming to you soon with Locked On and the Podcast Network. Cannot wait for that. Really excited all the way across the board. And of course, today's episode is brought to you by Supply House, supplyhouse.com for the skilled trades. No better place to order plumbing, HVAC, and supplies like that you need for your skilled trade job. Hiccups today. Not feeling so great. Fighting through it for you as always. But a big win for your Marlins, 7-2, the final. Let's take a peek ahead to the next series against your Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High. This got beat up by the Yankees, by the way. Very much so beat up by the Yankees. And who's not getting beat up by the Yankees right now? But the Colorado Rockies. Cabrera's going to pitch the opener, followed by Munoz, followed by Meyer, followed by Bayozo, the 4 best pitchers they have, the only pitchers they have with Oller right now. So Edward Cabrera has been really good lately. That sinker, fastball, changeup combination's been really good. Munoz been up and down. We'll see in game 2. Meyer, the former number 3 pick in the draft, has been plagued by homeritis. And I mean home runitis, giving up home runs. Other than that, he's been great. And then Bayozo's been their best starter lately. So those 4 games against an undecided, then Quantrill, then Freeland, then Blaylock. Looking at Colorado right now, all right? And, I mean, this is going to be like, you got to really be a fan to be a fan of either one of these teams. Aaron Judge, 5th player in MLB history, 350 homer seasons. Yankees beat the Rockies 10-3 today, and the Rockies won yesterday over the Yankees. They lost 2 out of 3 over the weekend. 3-0 and 10-3 were the losses. 9-2 was the win for the Rockies. And you're looking at what they've done lately. Colorado, they've lost 4 out of 5 to Washington and the Yankees. Took 2 out of 3 from San Diego before that. Swept by the D-backs before then. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets, lost 2 out of 3 to the Padres. So not a very good team, obviously. Stinky team. They've had some bad losing streaks. They had a couple 5-gamers, this year. And the Marlins, of course, had the 9-gamer to start the year, then a 6-gamer, couple 5-gamers. But they've had a 6-gamer, the Rockies have, a 6-gamer, 2 5-gamers, 2 4-gamers, 3 5-gamers, 4 5-gamers. All right, a 6-gamer, 4 5-gamers, and a 4-gamer is what the Rockies have for losing streaks. But, the Marlins with the Rockies coming in, looking to continue. That look good with Cabrera, Munoz, Meyer, and Belloso. Maybe the Marlins can win this series. Well, one thing we do know, there's no maybe about this. You can find us every day, Locked On Marlins Postcast, right here on Locked On Sports Miami on YouTube. You can find us every day wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you get your podcast, we'll be there with your Locked On Marlins Postcast. Also, starting in a couple of weeks with NFL opening day, it'll be the Dolphins, Locked On Dolphins Postcast. After every game, I'll be here live. Kyle and Alex with Locked On Dolphins and Locked On Canes every day. We have incredible coverage. I'll be doing the Dolphins and the Hurricanes Postcast next Saturday. Miami in Gainesville taking on the Gators in the season opener. 7-2 Marlins beat the Cubs. They lose the season series 4-3. They lose the weekend series 2-1. They've lost everything this year, except everything on the line this week, starting tomorrow in Colorado, in the Rockies, under the Evergreens. Maybe not under the Evergreens, but wow. The loser of this series, 4 games, Marlins Rockies, last place in the National League, is on the line, and we will be here after every single game with your Locked On Marlins Postcast. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more Locked On Marlins Postcast on your Sunday, August 26th, 2024. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries at Jim Gries _ on social media. Thanking you profusely for being here to wrap up the 7-2 win with me and reminding you to always keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. Connor Norby and the Marlins for the win. We'll talk to you next time on the Locked On Marlins Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day.